Assalamu alaikum. Today I describe extreme programming, which is called XP, is an agile software development framework that aims to produce higher quality software and higher quality of life for the development team. XP is the more specific of the agile framework regarding appreciate engineering practices for software development when applicable. The general characteristics when applicable, the dynamically changing software requirements, risks caused by fixed time project using new technology, a small co-located extended development team. The technology you are using allows for automated unit and functional test. Due to XP specific when it comes to its full set of software engineering practices, there are several situations where you may not want to fully practice XP. The post when is XP not appropriate on the C2 wiki is probably a good place to start to find examples where you may not want to use XP. While you cannot use the entire XP framework in many situations, that should not stop you from using as many of the practices as possible given your context. Values. The five values of XP are communication, simplicity, feedback, courage, and respect, and are described in moral detail below. The core of XP is the interconnected set of software development practices listed below. While it is possible to do these practices in isolation, many teams have found some practices reinforce the others and should be done in conjunction to fully eliminate the risk you often face in software development. The XP practices have changed a bit since they were initially introduced. The originally 12 practices are listed below. If you would like more information about how these practices were originally described, you can the describe. Some are listed below. The planning game, small releases, metaphor, simple design, testing, refactoring, pair programming, collective ownership, continuous integration, 40 hours week, one side customer, coding standard. Below are the descriptions of the practice as described in the second edition of Extreme Programming Explained. Embrace change. These What is Scrum? Scrum is a framework within which people can address complex adaptive problems while productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible values. Scrum is a lightweight framework that helps people, teams, and organizations generate values through adaptive solutions for complex problems. Scrum co-creators Ken Schauber and Jeff Sutherland have written the Scrum Guide to explain Scrum clearly and succinctly. The guide contains the definition of Scrum. This definition consists of Scrum's accountabilities, events, artifacts, and the rules that bind them together. In a nutshell, Scrum requires a Scrum Master to foster environment where a product owner orders the work for a complex problem into a product backlog. The Scrum team turns a selection of the work into an increment of values during a sprint. The Scrum team and its stakeholders inspect the result and adjust for the next sprint. Repeat. Scrum Glossary. The Scrum Glossary is meant to represent an overview of Scrum related terms. Some of the mentioned terms are not mandatory in Scrum but have been added because they are commonly used in Scrum. Scrum Framework. The Scrum is simple. It is the possible of a big collection of interwoven mandatory components. Scrum is not a methodology. Scrum implements the scientific method of empiricism. Scrum replaces a programmed algorithmic approach with a heuristic one with respect for people and self-organization to deal with unpredictability and solving complex problems. The below graphic represents Scrum in action as described by Ken Schauber and Jeff Sutherland in their book Software in 30 Days, taking us from planning through software delivery.